For as long as I can remember, my sister Emma and I were like oil and water, always clashing, always competing. She's the golden child, with straight A's and perfect hair, while I, Sarah, was the rebel who always seemed to get things wrong. Even though we're only 2 years apart, Emma always acted like she was the grown-up, and I was some wayward child in need of saving. The more she excelled, the smaller I felt. Our rivalry wasn't just sibling squabbles. It was a silent war that brewed over the years, each of us keeping a mental ledger of slights and betrayals. Things reached a head last summer when Emma did the unforgivable. I was in my final year of university, scraping by on scholarships and a part-time job. It wasn't much, but I was proud of it. I'd confided in Emma, stupidly, that if I couldn't make rent, I'd lose my spot in the apartment. A week later, I found out Emma had told our parents I was struggling and needed their help. Mom and Dad swooped in, offering to cover the rent, but their charity came with a catch: moving back home for a while until I could get back on my feet. I was furious. Emma played the innocent, saying she just wanted to help. But I knew better. She'd taken away the one thing I prided myself on: my independence. I refused my parents' offer and made it through that semester working double shifts, hating her more with every passing day. Then last night, I discovered Emma's secret. And for the first time in years, I felt like I had the upper hand. It started innocently enough. A family dinner. Emma and her perfect fiancé Nate sat across from me, flashing their matching engagement rings and radiating happiness. Nate, charming as ever, chatted with our parents about wedding plans, while Emma sat there, practically glowing. Meanwhile, I drank wine like it was water and tried to keep my resentment in check. Then Emma excused herself to take a call, and out of curiosity, or maybe pettiness, I followed her to the bathroom door. Listening in, what I heard made my blood run cold. She wasn't on the phone with a wedding planner. She was on the phone with a man. And it wasn't Nate. "I told you not to call me on weekends," she hissed, her voice low but urgent. "Do you want to ruin everything?" I stood frozen, my mind racing. Emma was cheating on Nate. Perfect Emma, the pride of the family, with her pristine life, hiding a dark secret. The same sister who had ruined my life was living a lie, and I was the only one who knew. At first, I didn't know what to do with the information. A part of me wanted to confront her right then and there, but something stopped me. I wanted revenge, not just petty revenge, but revenge that would hurt her the way she had hurt me. I wanted to tear down the perfect image she'd built and expose her for the fraud she was. I waited until after dinner to make my move. As everyone sat around the living room sipping coffee, I dropped the bombshell with calculated precision. "So Emma," I said, swirling the last of my wine, "does Nate know about your other boyfriend?" The room went dead silent. Emma's face drained of color, and for the first time in her life, she looked genuinely terrified. "What the hell are you talking about?" she stammered, but the panic in her voice gave her away. Our parents exchanged confused glances, while Nate sat perfectly still, his expression unreadable. "Oh, come on, Emma," I said sweetly. "I overheard you on the phone earlier. It's okay. You don't have to pretend anymore." Emma shot to her feet, her voice shaking with fury. "You have no idea what you're talking about." "Don't I?" I leaned back in my chair, enjoying the chaos I'd unleashed. "How long has it been going on? A few months? A year?" "Sarah, stop," Emma snapped, but it was too late. Nate set his cup down with a quiet clink. "Is this true?" he asked, his voice low and dangerous. Emma looked at him, her eyes wide with panic. "I can't explain." "No," Nate said coldly, standing up. "I think I've heard enough." The fight that followed was explosive. Nate stormed out. Emma ran after him, and my parents were left in stunned silence, trying to process what had just happened. I should have felt triumphant. This was what I wanted, wasn't it? To expose Emma for the liar she was, and watch her perfect life crumble. But as I sat there, watching the fallout unfold, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Emma's reaction wasn't just panic. It was fear. And not just fear of losing Nate. It was something deeper, something darker. In the days that followed, the family was in disarray. Emma moved back in with our parents, and Nate broke off the engagement. I thought I'd won, until Emma confronted me at home a week later. "You don't know what you've done," she said, her voice hollow. I crossed my arms. "I exposed you. That's what I did." Emma gave a bitter laugh, tears glistening in her eyes. "You think this is just about Nate?" She shook her head, her voice cracking. "This is so much bigger than you." And that's when she dropped the real bombshell. The man on the phone wasn't just some random affair. He was our half-brother. I stared at her, my mind reeling. "What?" Emma sank onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. "Dad had an affair years ago. Mom found out when I was 16. She made him cut ties with the other family, but she took a shuddering breath. I found out. I started sneaking around, meeting him in secret. I needed to know him, Sarah. I felt the ground shift beneath me. And Mom and Dad, they don't know, Emma whispered. They think it's all in the past. I sat down, stunned into silence. I'd thought Emma's secret was a petty affair. I had no idea it was connected to a hidden family scandal, a scandal that could shatter everything we thought we knew about our parents. You ruined everything, Emma whispered, her voice filled with anguish. Nate left because of you, and now you've forced me to choose between my fiancé and my brother. For the first time, I saw Emma not as my enemy, but as someone trapped in a nightmare far worse than anything I'd imagined. I didn't know, I whispered, guilt washing over me. Emma looked at me, her eyes filled with a mixture of anger and sadness. No, you didn't. In the end, the truth came out. Emma told Nate the whole story. And to my surprise, he forgave her. They decided to postpone the wedding, giving Emma time to sort through the mess of our family's hidden past. Our parents were devastated when they found out about the half-brother. The news rocked the family, forcing them to confront long-buried truths. It wasn't easy, and things would never be the same. But in a strange way, it brought us closer together. As for Emma and me, we're still a work in progress. The rivalry isn't gone, but something shifted between us that day. We both realized that beneath the bitterness and betrayal, we were just two sisters trying to survive in a family built on lies. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough to start over. Thanks so much for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this story and share your ideas for future videos. See you in the next video.